but that boy killing it.
I know. I'm telling you, bro. Like, I don't even want to speak on this shit.
This motherfucker's head's getting so big. In the next 10 days, John Payne's gonna be standing right there. Jorgensen's gonna make $100,000 in a month. He's gonna walk by right here, and John Payne's gonna be like, "Hey, Jorgie, question." He's gonna be like, "Fuck you." He's gonna be like, "I'm bigger than you now." His head's gonna get so fucking big, it's insane.
You have no idea. He be
How's he at the house?
Bro, man, y'all can't stop me, bro. You don't even know, bro. I'm big, bro. I'm the next John. Casey got shit on me, bro. John ain't even gonna know.
You like that? I love it. I love it.
It's different. He like.
Hey, listen. His energy's different.
He's like, John don't even know this game like I do, bro.
It's already starting. It's already starting.
I'm like, yo.
He's like, I'll rip your money off, man.
Okay. Okay.
We're gonna have a special training by Brandon Jorgensen. Okay, so y'all better be ready. So I've been studying this training for about a week now, and it's a really good story from our man Uncle G, you know, Grant. But I'm gonna start off with his story, and then I'm gonna roll into how it plays into our story, right? How it affects us, right? So there's a story that Grant tells a lot. Have anybody ever heard Grant's trash man story? Anybody? No? No, it's okay. All right, so I'm gonna start off like this, right? So Grant's at this hotel. It's actually out in Malta, the city of Malta, right? It's this big hotel. It's got the pool, you know, 20, 30 stories up on a rooftop, right? And he's going to have a breakfast with one of his buddies and his wife, okay? Now check this out. Go into a pool to have breakfast. You see all the rich people sitting by the pool. They're ordering, you know, mimosas. They got, you know, espressos. They're getting wine, right? And well, Grant notices that every one of them looking happy as hell. They don't look happy at all. They look like they are dreading life, but they're on this 30th floor freaking poolside breakfast, ordering mimosas, having a, you know, the best view in the city, and they still look like they're unhappy, right? So fast forward, Grant's choosing to walk back from the hotel and walk back to where he's going, and he sees these 3 trash truck dudes just picking up trash, throwing it in the back of the truck. And he sits there and goes, oh my God, those 3 guys right there look way happier than every rich person sitting up by the pool, ordering mimosas, all that good stuff, right? Yeah. Does anybody know why these 3 dudes look happy? Anybody can answer? Take a guess. Why do you think these 3 trash dudes look happiest than they've ever been tossing this trash into the bathroom?
They dropped in the unit.
Yeah, they're enjoying their company.
Right, it's really one word, right? It's one word. Work, right? They're working, right? Grant talks about how they're gonna go home, they're gonna talk to their wife's gonna ask them how their day was, and they're gonna be like, it was all right, right? Because they're gonna forget that they were happiest when they were working with others, right? So I feel like the big thing that I took from this is, in the past few weeks, how many people in here feel like work became fun again?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Come on. Everybody's been feeling the vibe, it's been feeling fun, right? It's because we're working, right? We're working. And we're working with others now instead of just feeling like we're doing it alone. But here's the big thing is, how does this play into the sales training, right? How does this play into what we're doing on the phone? Well, the real thing is, how many angles are you working on your phone calls, right? Grant asked this question right here. How many things can you offer somebody on the phone? How many different options do you have?
To Georgie's point, last week, Logan Perry threw up a nice set for me. Dude had already spent like $300 on just like automated buys or some shit like that. Got to talking with him, and I figured out that that's not what he really needed, right? Solve the problem, right? His problem was that he had already had a business going with his business partner. He was doing window tinting. His partner, Body Wraps, they had a brick and mortar at one point, but they had to revert back because overhead, whatever, long story short, they're looking to get back to that point. They could do the work, but they didn't know how to bring in the business, right? So what can we do for them? Well, we can drive business in and we can close their deals for them as well. So what ended up happening, it went from a $7,500 potential, academy where I could tell he was kind of like, I got this going, I got that going. His hand was in too many damn pots. He needed to focus on one thing. I asked him what he really wanted to do. I really want to get my business off the ground. I just got my LLC, you know, for the window tinting. I'm in business with my boy from, we were like kids. We played baseball together, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so how can I best serve him and help him? Well, I figured out, okay, he does not need Academy. What he needs is help with their business. So I went to my man Clay, talked to him. He actually put me up on like how to run the play. What we ended up doing is instead of a $7,500 Academy, it ended up being a $12,500 staffing agreement, right? Which I collected $3,000 up front, and I already financed the $9,500. So
Come on now, you little staffer.
So that's what Jordan's talking about. Solve the fucking problem, guys. You gotta solve the problem.
Yep, 100%, right? Solving the problem, right? So there's been a problem that I have, you know, been able to see from kind of stepping back and just seeing with the team and closers. I mean, I'm really talking to the setters right now, all right? I'm gonna talk to the setters right now, all right? Because this is the biggest place where it starts first, is right there on the phone with the setter. That's where every deal is gonna usually start at, is on the phone, right? So the problem that I was able to see, and let me ask all the setters, how many of you have more no-shows than you do intros?
Oh, damn. That's a question. Hold on, let me come back up in here.
Anybody want to answer? How many of you have more no-shows than you do intros? I would say the majority of you have more no-shows than you do intros. Logan Perry is probably the only one that can say he's got more intros than he does no-shows, right? And Logan Perry actually probably making more money than most of the setters on the team right now.
100%.
100%, right?
He's a six-figure intro closer.
He's bringing in $3K every 2 weeks, reoccurringly, right? So what's the point? Here's the point. Here's the problem, is that we have more no-shows than we do intros. Why? Because all we keep thinking immediately when we get on the phone is Academy. Right? We're thinking Academy. So I'm gonna turn this board around. I'm gonna create a list with y'all real quick.
Okay.
What are some of the problems y'all hear from clients when you get on the phone with them?
Time, dollars,
Time? You said money, right?
Yep.
Not enough money?
no passion, no drive.
No passion?
Like without purpose.
Purpose?
Yeah.
A lot of times they say that they lack their follow through. They need help with like.
Would y'all say people? People they're around? Community?
Say opportunity.
Opportunity?
Accountability.
Yeah,
Accountability?
because a lot of times they hop on the phone and they're like, oh yeah, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried this. The biggest problem is follow through.
Right.
Accountability, right?
Okay, so how many of you give them a list of options when you're asking them what's the problem? Is it the money? Is it the people you're around?
I mean, I kind of do like a quick flash, like, hey, look, I used to like with a big goal, like, hey, look, everybody wants more money, everybody wants more time. What are you really after? Like, what are you here for?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then I just go through and attack the lot.
All right, easy. And you usually get told one of these things, right?
Not after I say, hey, fuck the time, fuck the money. Like, what are you after? Like, oh, I want to take care of my family. I want to do this. And I'm like, yo, why? You know, like, why are you super passionate? And I keep going. Let's say, bro, this was all solved. You know, X, Y, and Z. You're making $50,000 a month. Like, bro, what's gonna motivate you to keep waking up and going hard? And then you really get like what they're really after. You know what I'm saying?
Right? The real problem.
Yep.
And most of the time it usually comes down to not having enough money, right? They don't have enough money. They can't take care of their family. They want to take care of their family their way, right? They either say they don't have enough time, right? Because they're working too damn much and they can't really get out of work and start doing something different, right? How many of you ask them what they're doing right now to change that?
Mm-hmm. Every time you have to, because that's how you build a reality and get an agreement that what they're doing isn't working.
Okay, for sure. And what's usually the answers that you get when you ask, what are you doing right now? Nothing? Nothing? Okay, so right now you're currently, you have no solution to your problem right now.
Exactly.
So usually it's like, oh, they don't have time or they don't have money, right? Most of the time they're gonna say, I'm just not making enough money. What's the one problem? They're not making enough money, right?
Like, hey, opportunity.
Right. So how many of you would rather have more intros than no shows?
Everybody.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
How many of you know the story of Mike talking about the client that spent $37 with us and not even 2 months later spent $35,000?
Actually, $7.
Oh yeah, he spent $7, sorry. $7 turned into $35,000.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't no-show us. Right? The problem was that he didn't know what we really did. He needed to understand a little bit more. How many of you go to pitch the 97 before you start pitching Academy? If the guys really don't understand what high ticket sales is, what it is we really do, and like how we can really help them.
Unacceptable. gotta be in agreement that first and foremost we can't help them. They have to have a reality on what it is that we're gonna do to help them, and then from there you figure out what the qualification is. Is this a $5 conversation, 550,000? Like, who am I talking to?
Exactly, right? So the whole point is, how many of you feel like you could get way more majors if you got more intros?
Oh my God.
Okay, so what if you got every no-show you got right now, the 97, before they even got on the demo to go talk about a major,
Markets would be fat.
right?
And then it'd be a lot easier transition. You know, they can
Right.
justify the second purchase.
So what's happening is we got somebody here, they have a problem, and sometimes we go ahead and say, hey, we'll do it in 3 days, right? In 3 days from now, they said they got time. We're gonna hop on, we're gonna book them on a 5 o'clock demo for Clay on Thursday, and it's Monday. Right? Is that usually what happens, Sam? Most of the time, if they don't want to get on today, it's like, I'll get on it in 2 days, right? How many of those guys do you go in to sell the 97 that day so they can have a better understanding of what they're about to talk about? Right? So the whole point is, if it's going to take time, right, which means goes into the future, let's just say 4 days, right? Over here, they need something, a future. They need something to look forward to.
Okay, so how do you guys feel that we're doing as a group in terms of selling intros?
Not good.
Like a letter grade. We're talking about like high school, like A, B, C, D, F.
We family.
Okay, he says we're felony. Y'all believe that?
I say D.
Okay, right, a D or a felony?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
why do you think that is?
We ain't trying.
No attention.
This is what I believe. I don't believe as a group we have conceptual understanding of what happens with an intro. Okay? I need a volunteer. Who's a setter?
Really?
Okay, so what happens after you sign up an intro?
After a seller,
What do they go?
they go through the actual mentorship, the high ticket live mentorship. They meet twice weekly, right? Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they start going through more high ticket sales videos, right? Get more mentorship.
Okay, and then what happens?
And then they get hit up.
They get service, and they obviously we're looking to upsell them, right? Upsell them in the near future to the major program.
Yeah. You sell it, your name's attached to it forever. It's free money. It hasn't clicked yet though. It may never click at this point. And when the ones that do click, you're gonna fucking make more money than you've ever imagined. At this rate, Logan Perry's gonna make more than anybody in the room, except for like a few closers. But it needs to start clicking. It makes no sense. Okay. Make no fucking sense.
Give it up for Mike. Instead of you are following up in 2 weeks and the guy has seen nothing more, he's gone through nothing else, how many more majors do you feel like you could get if you sold them an intro and had a meeting with Logan and they had gone through some actual content, they got some actual training, and then you call them 3 days later when they're set on 4th day, right? You call them 3 days later, like, dude, I love this. This is awesome. Logan Perry's so great. How many more majors do you feel like you can pull if your follow-up game was just following up with students you got in to at least be able to see something? Really thinks he's going to get more majors, right? How many of you
100%.
online?
Dude, you guys don't understand. When I set somebody up on a every little 97 recurring, I throw them straight to Logan and I fucking edify the shit out of him. And Logan does his thing. I've already got 3 deals off that shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
You guys,
Dude, I got 2.
bro, Logan is on his shit, you guys.
Once it clicks, you gonna pop off.
So you guys sleeping on that shit? Like, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is lay it up to him, and he gonna lay it right back up to you.
I said is in the first 2 minutes, well, for him, in the first few seconds, he knows whether he's talking to a 97, a 7500, a 50, or hell, even before that, a free product, right?
Yeah.
So if you already know that like they're not ready for an academy, don't just drop big claims just to get them to say yes to an appointment and then they don't show, because what's really happening is you're not selling them on the appointment, right? And why do people not buy things from you? Well, they don't trust you, or they're confused. How do we get rid of confusion? Let's get them into the 100K sales mini course. Let's get them into the $97 millionaire coaching, right? Here's the big point. Before you get off the phone, if it's not, you're not setting up the appointment, you need to follow up, set them up a damn account. Hey, what's a good email for you so I can go ahead and set up your account, get this account sent over to you so you can start actually going through it. Say you got a opt-in from the webinar, right? They haven't got into anything, they don't have an account created. Say you go and create them a 100K sales mini course account before you get off the phone with them. Now they're getting texted every day for the next 30 days. pushing them to go do the next thing, to go do the next thing, to go do the next thing. Doing the fucking follow-up for you. It's doing the follow-up for you. It's advancing the deal for you already, right? Everybody gets something. That's the biggest problem that we have right now is not everybody's getting something, right? They're just getting a phone call with one of our setters, or they're just getting some advice over the phone. They need to get something they can actually grab and start going through, and they can start advancing them to the next part of the deal, right? So our biggest problem is caused because we're not finding out their problems, right? We're not finding out the actual problem. Hamza had a call the other day. He was sitting in my office, and he kept like, the guy's just like, yeah. And he's just, yeah, in all of his questions. I'm like, Hamza, you're not in communication. I'm like, Hamza, you're not in communication. Hamza, this guy is not listening to you. He's literally just, yeah. Hamza can tell. I tell him to confront. What am I getting at? He didn't get his attention. He's just sitting there talking about academy all day. It's like academy. If we could do this, no, go find out the problem. The dude's still kind of confused. Get him an account set up with the 100K. Get him sold the 97, and get him actually booked into a demo after you got him registered, after you've got him account, right? Go advance the deal. Advance the deal. You're gonna get more deals if you get them into the 100K sales mini program. I promise you. You're gonna get more deals if you're selling more 97s. More majors. I promise you, if you just sell more intros, you will get more majors.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
How many of you guys, when you are on setters, mainly, when you're on a phone call and they just, nah, I'm good, whatever. How many of you guys, when you hang up, actually send them the 100K email?
Oh yeah, Hamza does it.
You should do it every single time.
So here's the better way of doing it. Don't just send it to them. Create their account for them. Be at cause for your deals. Be at cause for your intros. Most of you setters want to be closers, but you're not even closing what you can close right now. You want to sit in my seat, but you're not even fulfilling your seat. I was selling intros all the time as a setter. 97. Guess what? As soon as they get on with Casey, we retro credit that 97. We go ahead and grab another 500, send to funding, or we go ahead and grab 1,500, send to funding. And all we really thought is that all they got is $97. No, they just needed to see $97 worth of information to make the decision on 7,500.
We'll see it's worth more than 97.
Okay?
So when they see that value.
The value is always going to be stacked if you actually follow the process. If they get to talk to Logan Perry before they get on with your closer, I promise you have a 10 times more likely chance of them
100%.
closing than if you just went ahead and said, hey, let me follow up with you in 2 weeks.
Perry gonna be like, you fucking beautiful.
All right, so I'm gonna ask a question real quick. What, as a setter today, what are you gonna do more of? Intros. I would literally just tell you, create more accounts. Create more accounts. Get more people watching the 100K sales mini course. Get more people watching and meeting with Logan Perry. And I promise you, the majors will just start flowing. John talked about this morning when we came in here, the Mondays are slow in the morning. If you had 25 intro $97 deals from last week, Mondays mornings would not be slow, because you'd be following up with all the guys who already spent money with you. And if you know the rule, if they buy one time, they'll buy the second, third, fourth, fifth time, just to justify why they bought the first time. If somebody gets into the 100K sales mini course, actually goes in and watches the training with the account you created for them, they bought. They bought. Because the only thing they have to spend after spending money is the time actually going through the training. So if it's free, they didn't have to spend no money. The only thing they can actually invest into you is the time of actually going through the account that you set up for them. Have them invest. Have them start going through. And that's them buying. That means next time you call them, you've got a 10 times more likely chance of them saying, yes, I'm ready to get on with Casey Cox, or I'm ready to get on with Brandon Jorgensen, or I'm ready to get on with Clayton Connor, or I'm ready to get on with Rulli, I'm ready to get on with Andrew. Logan blew my mind the other day. I can't wait to see what these guys got. So what I'm saying is, solve the problem. The problem may not be they don't have the academy. It may just be they don't understand what the hell that we do, and they need some more information they can go look at. How do we be at cause of it? Create them a damn account. They can't watch shit without an account, right? Let's get them account mades. Let's get them all loaded up for Mondays, okay? Mondays. Mondays can't be slow anymore. The other thing I want to call attention to is we can't be rolling in here at freaking 8:25. We gotta be ready, okay? We can't be rolling in here at 8:25. 8:25 means that we didn't prep for the demo. Now we're gonna be lost trying to pull up everything in the background while we're trying to get this guy's attention. Really, we're not even focused on him because we're like, damn, where did the Panadocs go? We gotta be prepped and ready. If you all wanna make more money, raise your standard. Show up here at 8:15, ready to go. 8 o'clock if you need, right? But I hope that gave y'all a little more information on how to solve more problems with yourself, but also how to find out the problem within the client, right? Don't just go straight to how to create an account with the 100K Sales Mini Course. I can help you do that. If you need help with the 97, I can help you do that. Go out there and kill it today. Go out there and find your damn money. Because we ain't come here for zeros. Ain't nobody going home with a donut today, okay? Everybody gets on the board. Let's go. Let's figure it out.